was incredible.
Because I'm ready to get my hand out of the way and grab it, it's just gonna bite. Did you see this arm? It would be a full-blown attack if we didn't have the conversation we had to have after she had went after Sparkles the other day. So, and she did it in this room. So I have that conversation backing me up when she feels this light stim on here. She already knows how heavy it can get because she felt it when she attacked Sparkles. So I don't have to go that heavy. She's being reminded of the 9, and she said, okay, she lays down. She's learning the coping skill, the way out of the situation once the conflict starts, meaning she says, I don't like that, and I say, too bad. That's a conflict. There's only 2 ways to get out of that conflict, really, in this situation. Is for her to fight me and win, or for her to submit. So I'm teaching her submission because, again, she doesn't know how to submit, and that's why I hate to say this all the time. They don't know how to submit. It's because they never learn that coping skill to submit to confrontation from a human. They have other ways of manipulating the situation besides submitting. And she probably chooses flight, but she knows it's not going to work because we did that nice recall early on. So she's going to choose flight, and she's going to be nasty about it. And then, if it doesn't work, then we get submission. Okay. Plus, she trusts me because she knows I'm not out to hurt her. But this is scary. I also discovered that she likes the car, but the car's scary, and she likes that place bed, but then she's worried about who's coming and going. And also, she's very low key, stressing heavily. Meaning she's not whining and pacing around, but she's stressing in her mind. You can see it in her eyes when it's all over the place, and you see it in the panicking. At home, I was informed that she doesn't eat that well, and she also has a lot of diarrhea. These are signs of stress. So this dog is living with stress. Here, most of the time, if we're not doing something like this, she's not as stressed, so she's eating her food and her poops are solid. So the good news is once she's more balanced at home, her health will clean up as well. Okay, so if it's that bad that she's having diarrhea regularly and not eating, that means that this dog lives in a state of stress, which is because she feels like she's underexperienced in the world, which is typical nowadays for dogs that come in that way. But she also doesn't really have a leader, somebody that she trusts to deal with the world. So she feels like she's got to pay attention and worry about everything. When she has a leader that she trusts, that'll die down too. So she's heading in the right direction. Very good. Very good. All those were strikes. Yeah. Very nice. You see the panic? She's going to give you a panic bite, which is going to pierce your skin nice and good.
She's also really paying attention.
She is, so I'm proving to her that nothing bad's happening. In contrast to what happens if she tries to bite me. Because she knows what happens when she tries to bite me because she tried to bite me. So, she says, oh, that's not so bad. Compared to what the bite's going to produce based off from the past, the contrast of this is probably even pleasant, So this is her first time doing this. We haven't done any of this. I haven't put her on her side. I did put her on her side after she struck at Sparkles. More than struck at Sparkles. It was a full-on attack. And I was right there, and I had the leash in my hand, luckily. So that got cleared up really quick. But she was going for the neck and a nice shake on my little pup. And my dog, Sparkles, wouldn't have survived that if she got that shake in. She was going for the neck, and right as she pinned her down, I got that leash, but she was going for that nice scruff shake, which probably would have broke little Sparkle's neck. So, why did I say that? She's a nice dog, but her brain has primitive side to it, and hers comes out a little too easy for like a pet, right? Sparkles was walking by the place that she attacked her. Unprovoked. Well, provoked in the sense that she walked near the Sparkles is a little fluffy, she got a weird gait, but she also walked by a nice resource, which is the bed. She got attacked for that by her. Of course, I was ready, luckily, but I wasn't ready because I didn't know that she had this issue until the fact. Another thing for my girl is, I guess I covered that already, so. We're gonna do this, prove to her that nothing bad happens, put it away, bring it back tomorrow, do it again. As time goes on, the stress will go down. And the bites will go away.
Good girl.
Very good. See, so it's just a little weird sensation. That's all it is. It's just this little, it vibrates, but if the dog's in panic mode, they just feel that and they wham, slam it. And you get a nice bite. And then the dog gets out of the situation because you stop, and the dog starts to learn to bite when they're uncomfortable. And then we're going into a bad place, especially if this dog's uncomfortable all the time. So many situations make her uncomfortable. So, good girl. She's getting upgraded to living with me for the next however long she needs it, because there's no way I can make the change with this dog that I need to make unless I live with her like she's my own dog. Because dogs like this need rehab work, and that doesn't happen within the context of just learning the commands like the other dogs. This is an extra level of commitment on my end, and everybody who's involved. To bring the best out of her, because I know it's in there. There's a sweet girl in there, but she's willing to bite people and dogs when she's afraid. You see, those are all bites that she's thinking she's second guessing, and she's realizing, as she's second guessing, she realizes this isn't really doing anything at all. It's uncomfortable at all. It's all in her head. I have it flipped around. It's all in her head at that point. Oh look, she worked through it there. Nice work. And go back to it again. It is impossible for this to be uncomfortable, what I'm doing. Just to show you how cuckoo her mind can get. Now I'm going to do my neck. Produce the sound. Back to this side. That was getting her to bite before, and I know that there's no discomfort from this. You see? You see? Because she can't get her hand away, so what's she going to do? She's going to bite up. Right? She's not doing it right now, like a good girl. But those were all thoughts about it. Thought of running away, she won't do that because she knows if she runs away, it's going to be correction or recall, so it's useless. Thought of biting, I remember last time I bit what happened, so I'm not going to bite. Submitting is working. For the first time in her life, she's choosing submission, and it's working. Every time she submits, I stop that, I give her a good girl. This is the new skill. This is the new thing she needs to choose. Stop running away and stop trying to kill things, right? Stop snapping at your hammer when you get frustrated. Submit. Submission, submission, submission. That is the answer. Not a Kong with peanut butter to keep her distracted while we do it. The dog needs coping skills. They need that coping skill of submission so that they can relax, give you trust, and realize nothing. Once they do that, they realize nothing bad's happening. Okay? It's not like we're cutting off her toes here. We're just doing a little bit of nail journaling, so it's going to be a foreign sensation, vibration, that's going, as soon as it touches, it's going to be vibration, but if she doesn't strike, she's going to realize, oh, that's not much. It's not uncomfortable. Good. See, she's prepping for it to be very uncomfortable. It's in her head. She puts her push here so she can push my hand away.
You can tell when they're really listening because the panting stops.
Yeah, they want to know if you're going to touch me with that thing, that scary thing. It's scary because if she hasn't had a bad experience, it's because it's unfamiliar. And she doesn't have coping skills. She's used to running away or fighting, and then it works. So that's what she chooses. Why wouldn't you if it works? Especially if you don't have a moral code. Dogs don't really have that. You don't have a moral code that we have. They'll bite you 1 second, rip a nice hole in your face, and then love you the next second. It's the nature of some of these dogs. And unfortunately, in the wrong situation, she is that dog. See if you can figure out how to submit here to the pressure.
Good girl.
Like it's a pet.
That was everything.
And that's what she's learning. That is everything. And that goes for more situations than just this. It goes for scary situations. Just relax the mind and trust, and it'll be over shortly. It'll transfer to the car. It'll transfer to the vet. It'll transfer to, any type of grooming. Any type of situation. She's in a room, she's a little nervous, and because there's more, whatever. I don't know all the things she's nervous about. It'll be a coping skill that she knows she can rest the brain. When she's doing this, she's thinking about her option. She's thinking about the staircase. Can I go down the staircase? Can I go this? And just, it's the hamster wheel going upstairs. Okay? She closes her mouth, she starts to breathe through her nose, she starts to relax. That's a beautiful sign. the eyes aren't as shifty. See all the shifty eyes? It's not good. Not good. Good deal.
Really nice job.
Good deal.
See, the panting stops because she's paying attention.
Very good.
She wants to know what's going on.
Yes.
She can't hear if she's panting.
But I'll tell you what, she might be using the coping skill too.
Yep.
To some degree. When they're new at it, they use it for seconds at a time, and they go back to the stress, but eventually they're able to hold it.
Nice
And my
work.
coping skill is to relax, and part of that is breathing through your nose. It helps. Much better on these back feet. So before, if you were using a distraction like a treat or peanut butter filled Kong or something, you're able to get one nail done, from my understanding. Then it tells me that you probably wanted to do all the nails, but after one nail, she puts up such a fuss that it can't, right? Thing is every time you try, she puts up a fuss, and then you stop, you're reinforcing the fuss. So meaning the fuss works, so that's what she's gonna use it. And then she's gonna use it more than just this situation with the nails. When the fuss doesn't work, but it has been working, now we get frustration. Like when you go to a trainer and they're like, yeah, the fuss isn't working, and there's no Kong, she's like, shoot, the fuss isn't working, and running away is not working, bite, attack. You would have seen that attack as well if you were pushing through the fuss, saying, well, no, I'm going to do this. She probably would try to run away, and if that didn't work, she'd bite her own owner, and I'd know to put money on it. So we need to make sure that we know the gravity of the situation. This girl needs, she needs rehab, right? Very anxious, and she does not understand the world. Starting to kind of get a little tired with worrying, but the brain can only worry so long. If there's no justified reason to worry, it'll start to just stop worrying. Just working her through it. Good girl.
Nice.
Good girl. Remember this, so I'm using this side. This is all in her head. This part can be a little weird because it's vibration, but this part, barely any vibration towards the end there. If it doesn't work, is she going to submit or is she going to strike at me? When she has had enough. And this is the work. She needs to make better choices. If she bites your owner, she's a couple times of that, most people get rid of them. And then you do that to a couple owners, it's bye-bye. So if we care about her, she needs to learn to submit to human leadership, meaning if we say lay down and let me do your nails, let us do it. Yeah. The whole problem is submission. Good girl. Submission creates compliance to the commands as well. The dog submits when you say down. They don't sit here and think, how can I get out of the situation? They submit to the situation and they down. Same with all the commands. So it is really the bread and butter of how we get our success. Good girl. This would be a very memorable session. Very memorable. These are my nails. So it's all in my head still. I'm gonna touch it, see what she does. Good, back to my nail. Good girl. Were they using a dremel? There's no way they're using a dremel. They're using clip. And you're only able to go. That's pretty bad. This is scary because it has all the noise and vibration. You can kind of sneak up on it with a clip, and you can kind of sneak up and be like, you know what I mean? And then you're done. But man, you're not even using the Dremel, that's even less impressive. It'd be more impressive if you were able to get one nail done with a Dremel. With the peanut butter, I was sitting here thinking in my head though, knowing all the knowledge I have here from her, is like, I'm actually very impressed that you were able to Dremel one nail, but you weren't able to Dremel a nail. And I'm sure that peanut butter loses value very fast once you bring a scary thing in. So it's just, you know, makes more sense now. So we're doing this duration. I'm talking to you guys to pass the time. But if I was doing this alone, I would probably be talking to Julia. But if she wasn't here, I would probably have a podcast on or something, honestly. Because, see, she's stabilizing. Her brain has no justification for using all that energy because there's no harm being done to her. So it starts to relax, and that's submission. And then what she's going to realize is that's the answer, okay? And that's the answer for the car ride. I hate to see her panic in the car ride, but she likes getting in the car, but then she gets in there. And it's because, the car can be scary for some dogs, but she's over the top of it. She's extra severe, but she's quiet. A lot of dogs who are afraid, you'll see more pacing, you see more, she does drool, but you'll see more drooling and you'll see more whining and more vocalizing. She's very quiet with it. So if you're not really paying attention, you might not even know she's stressed, but she's stressed. And she's stressed 24/7. Unless she's on a place, a bed, or something that she finds very comfortable, and there's nothing going on in the environment, then she can relax. Like her kennel, she's very good in her kennel here. She gets all of her rest in her mind in her kennel. She's not stressed one bit in her kennel. She's very good in her kennel as well, because that's your little safe spot. So she gets to rest her brain. I want her brain to be that comfortable around me. I want to be her safe spot. So we're starting to get it. This is amazing what she's doing here. Even if she starts panting again, it's okay. This is her using the coping skill. This is impressive, and I'm proud of her for this. Breathe out your nose. Relax the mind. Stop thinking all the thoughts of like, run away, bite, go here, go there. And it's just, so at the end of this training, we'll be able to go click on a light number, and she'll hold herself accountable to being in this state of mind, this calm, submissive state of mind. Okay? Look at, she's shaking now, so this is part of the healing. This is where she's going to get it all out. So now it's, right? She's going to do that for a little while. Before it was all in the mouth, just puddles of drool, right? She's starting to close that up. This is heading in the right direction. Now she's going to vibrate. They all do this. This will stabilize. Even with this sound, it'll stabilize. I'm impressed that she didn't pant immediately when this turned on. So she's learning to use the skill. The skill is created in a natural pack of dogs. She would learn to submit because there would be another dog member. They'd have a conflict. And if she kept fighting, but the other dog was more competent in fighting, she's not going to do so well. So they learn to submit, stop striking, stop doing anything, just hold still and relax. That dog will leave them alone. So that's a skill that they miss. And I've said this too many times to count. But it bears saying again, there's a skill they miss because they leave their pack at 8 weeks. And humans don't do this to them. So they don't learn to submit to the world, to their leader in the world around them, around resources, things that are desired, and also around scary things. Once they learn it, boy, do we see a good dog. Boy, do we see the problems start to fade, and do we see the best side of the dog come out in a very balanced mind. Submission has been taken out of a lot of dog training programs. It got a bad rap. It got a bad name somehow. I don't know how, because it's amazing and it works really well. It's part of the key package of the training style that's referred to as dog whispering. Dog whisperers are very much concerned with creating submission. And that's how they're able to solve all their issues with any type of issue with any dog, is they teach the dog to submit in the face of something they're afraid of, or in the face of something that they desire. And what you get is you get a calm, relaxed dog that listens. It really doesn't have much to do with the commands. You put commands on top of that, you get a beautiful, beautiful dog. So, but we skip out on the submission. We're going to get a dog who knows the commands, but they still have the bad mind, right? They'll be fussy with their commands. They might do them, but they'll feel off. And so this young girl needs to be taken full circle, as we call it around here, meaning we can't just try to bandage this up. We could just give her commands, and it would keep her somewhat safe, and she would listen, but her poor mind will forever be stressed. She'll always have diarrhea, and she'll always have trouble eating her food, because that's stress. Anybody who suffers severe stress knows those are the symptoms for us too. And she's stressed because she does not have somebody who corrects her for worrying about stuff. And I know this is where it's like, as humans, we think this is, oh, that sounds so contradictory, but the dogs, this is how they do it. If she's in a pack of dogs and she starts getting stressed like that, they're going to correct her, because they need her to be stable, because they have to work together to hunt and do other things. So they correct the instability. Where we, as humans, unfortunately, we coddle the instability. It's okay. So we see instability and we're rewarding it. So we're saying, be unstable, be unstable, be unstable. And then we're like, why is she unstable? And that's what happens with a lot of the dogs that come in here, most dogs that come in here. What we want to do is correct the instability, correct the panic, correct the thoughts of being unfaithful to us, correct all this stuff. If I see, if somebody's about to come in this door and she's hyper worried about it, I'm going to correct that. Her role is not to respond to the world, it's to see the world passively and look at me for direction on how to respond. And then that takes off a layer of stress on her, a layer of responsibility. I have to worry all the time about what I'm supposed to do and what's that and what's this. It's like, dude, you're never going to understand the world fully. I hardly even do, and I don't. Lean on your human. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work like this with a dog like this. It doesn't work. I can't say, honey, it's okay. Let me take care of it. The way the other dogs taught me to do it, and taught many trainers, is they correct her for trying to deal with situations. So if somebody comes in that door, whether she's happy to see them or nervous to see them, if she tries to interact with them without permission, that's corrected. That's what the dog will correct her for. And, why'd she correct her? She's choosing how to deal with the situation when she's leading. If she leads, she's stressed. Right? If she's a follower, she's not. And she's balanced. She is not a leader amongst dogs. She shouldn't be a leader of herself or you amongst humans. She needs to be a follower, which means if there's three positions in the pack, as far as I'm concerned, with her, it's like she's in front of you on the hierarchy, and she's completely independent to make her own choices, or she views herself as equal to you, which means you guys can talk about it and make the choices together, which is still not where she needs to be, or she's following. She's behind you in the hierarchy, which means there's the world, and then there's your response, and then she looks at you for how she should respond. That's a follower. Now, that's something the dog needs. We need to give her a handful of experiences so that she can come to the conclusion that she wants to follow us, and then feel the benefits of following. This is part of it. Look what she did. She stabilized. She stabilized. Like that's a mirror. I didn't think she was going to stabilize this session, to be honest with you. I thought this was going to be a few more. So this is pretty darn good. I'll get her unstable again, not this time. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this here this time. We're going to end it here. Next time she might be unstable again. She might be panting in it, but she'll be quicker and quicker at getting to this. And also eventually I'll be able to just give her a little stim and she'll do this, because that's the association, submission. If she lives like this, she will not have diarrhea all the time. She will not die 5 years shorter because of all the stress, and she won't have trouble eating. She'll be free of all that worry and anxiety. But it takes us stepping up and disagreeing when she tries to lead. That is the love that we have to give her, is tough love. Okay, we can't just give her free, soft, mushy love. This dog will fall apart. She will fall apart. And a lot of it will. She will fall apart. She needs tough love. Okay? Meaning, here's the structure, here's the rules, here's our dynamic in our relationship. If you try to step out of the bounds of any of these, I'm going to correct you. That's where she'll thrive. And that's where she'll be her best version. Okay? We're going to let her up now. I'm proud of her. This is a really good job. What a good girl. Canela. Right.
Yeah, good girl.